2015. Elon Musk was yet to become one of the richest people on the planet, and COVID-19 had not turned into a global issue. Typical Marvel superheroes were at their peak. The concept of superheroes seemed fully established, with no reason to change it, or so it was thought. But October 2015 challenged this established perspective on superhero films and series with the release of One-Punch-Man, a work that redefined the genre. The first season became a cult classic, making people reconsider the superhero formula for success. But what makes One-Punch-Man so unique compared to other series, and why has it achieved such success? What led to the precipitous decline in Season 2? I will attempt to answer these questions in this video. Recently, it was announced that the third season of the series will release in 2025, and this video is made in anticipation of its launch. Please support this video with a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me greatly. Long before becoming an international bestseller with over 30 million copies sold, One-Punch-Man was a webcomic released in 2009 by the creator One, a longtime manga fan. In an interview, One said, "You can create a webcomic even if you're not very good at drawing. Challenge yourself, and if it doesn't work out, you're free to walk away anytime." But he didn't walk away, as millions fell in love with his story of a bald hero. While the manga seemed like an overnight success, One had been drawing comics for years before his breakthrough hit, though no one had seen his earlier work. In his school years, One filled around 50 notebooks with wild ideas, including a superhero named Middle-Aged Man. This caused issues with his parents, and after receiving harsh criticism, he chose to keep his work private, avoiding manga clubs and peers. The parents' behavior seemingly influenced One's tendency to hide his creations, possibly giving birth to another manga, Mob Psycho 100, released in 2012. It tells the story of a modest teenager who suppresses his emotions to avoid unleashing destructive psychic powers. Eventually, One discovered the world of webcomics and decided to share his creation with the world. With a simple idea of a hero defeating any villain with one punch, One-Punch-Man was born. On a site where a comic was considered successful if it gained 30 readers, One-Punch-Man attracted thousands within weeks. Among its early admirers was Akiman, the legendary artist responsible for character designs in Street Fighter II, Final Fight, and Darkstalkers. By 2012, Akiman recommended the webcomic to artist Yusuke Murata, who collaborated with One to remake the series in Weekly Shonen Jump, expanding its world and characters. One described his own style as not very good, and indeed his work differs greatly from Murata's polished art. Yet, the characters, ideas, and humor that made One-Punch-Man a hit remained intact. First chapter of the remade manga garnered over 2.2 million views in a single day, a testament to its enormous success. One-Punch-Man is Saitama, a bald guy who became a hero not to fight for justice or protect the innocent, but because he couldn't find a decent job.
趣味でヒーローをやっているものだ。
It was his childhood dream to defeat villains with a single punch. Even in a world constantly under attack by demons, aliens, and other monsters, Saitama is more concerned with making it to the sale at his local grocery store.
82円あります。
The main character has become a symbol of the contradictions inherent in the superhero genre. His persona, a combination of absolute strength, modesty, and the banality of everyday life, has made him incredibly compelling. He simultaneously reflects and parodies classic heroes. While others battle world-ending threats, Saitama simply goes about his life. This mix of comedy and philosophy is the key to his cult status. In traditional superhero movies, the protagonist is always the epitome of coolness. Their appearance, super costumes, and dialogues all philosophically underscore the epic nature of the events. Saitama, on the other hand, is absurdity in its purest form. A man who has lost all desire to fight because he always wins with a single punch.
そうか。
Disappointment and boredom. These are the words that best describe the strongest man in the world.
圧倒的な力ってのはつまらないもんだ。
Typically, enemies are portrayed as insurmountable threats, incredibly strong and dangerous. But not for Saitama. According to One, Saitama is the result of a clever desire to turn the typical shonen manga formula on its head and create something readers hadn't seen before. In a conventional story, like Naruto, the hero constantly grows stronger to face increasingly deadly threats that arise with every new story arc. With One Punch Man, One wanted to see what would happen if you created a character who was already stronger than everyone else. The result is a magnificent comedy, where the humble Saitama effortlessly obliterates his gigantic foes with a single punch. But it also means that Murata's fight scenes are unlike anything else in comics. The joke only works if everything around Saitama is treated with deadly seriousness, and both One and Murata excel at pulling this off. Despite the simplicity of the concept of a hero who defeats everyone with a single punch, the backstory of One Punch Man turns out to be much deeper than it seems at first glance. Saitama's world is populated by gigantic monsters, necessitating the presence of other heroes ready to confront these threats. This leads to the creation of the Hero Association, which coordinates their activities while simultaneously uncovering the mysteries of the universe, from the origins of the monsters to their inexplicable obsession with destroying Saitama's hometown. This approach allows the creators to focus not only on Saitama's story, but also on a variety of heroes, each of whom is unique and often absurd in their own way.
A few moments later, 6.5 hours later.
The contrast between Saitama's personal, humor-filled journey and the grand superhero epic unfolding around him adds depth to the plot while maintaining its dynamic and comedic nature. In the early stages of the story, one of the main mysteries was the source of Saitama's incredible strength, which he gained after deciding to become a hero. In the second volume of the manga, his legendary training regimen is finally revealed. Saitama admits that he achieved his power by performing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and running 10 kilometers, 6.21 miles, every single day without fail, and with unwavering discipline. He also emphasizes that it's crucial to endure discomfort, such as avoiding air conditioning, and to never give up during training. This simplicity and absurdity of his approach become the subject of satire, setting Saitama apart from other heroes who typically acquire their powers through complex training, magical rituals, or high-tech devices. Saitama's training regimen, while humorous, underscores the central idea of the series. It's not about how you become strong, but what you do with that strength. A Sea King, a massive meteorite, or an alien threat. No matter the enemy, Saitama always emerged victorious. Yet the reactions of people were never what one would hope to hear. Saitama was treated unfairly, even after saving lives or defeating powerful foes. This reflects one of the key themes of the series: society's misunderstanding of heroism and its inability to appreciate true accomplishments. In the series, Saitama's character is revealed during these moments. After defeating the Sea King, he took all the blame upon himself. When criticism started to mount against him, instead of defending himself, he deliberately played along with the crowd, pretending that he was only interested in money and fame. By doing this, he protected other heroes such as Genos and Moomin Rider from unnecessary criticism. Despite his incredible abilities, Saitama is underestimated due to social stereotypes and his lack of fame. He faces constant discrimination from other heroes, especially those in higher ranks. Even in his dreams, Saitama longs for a real fight and confronts a great threat. But upon waking and realizing it was only a dream,
師匠は俺が守る。
なんだこの気持ちは。
息子たちが随分と
これが
he feels a sense of emptiness. This reflects his isolation from society despite his overwhelming strength. Even during the climactic battle with an alien threat, Saitama's achievements are credited to other heroes. He remains in the shadows because his victories often happen without witnesses or proper recognition. These moments highlight how society tends to value heroes for their popularity and visibility rather than their actual accomplishments. As a character, Saitama teaches viewers that true heroism lies not in recognition, but in actions. His indifference to public opinion and willingness to take the blame for others exemplify what it means to be a real hero.
今日は君を探していた。手紙では伝えきれなくてね。
感謝されてる。
One Punch Man doesn't just tell a story, it breaks traditional genre cliches.
鼻くそついた指であっち向いてほい仕掛けてくるな。
そうか。
Instead of focusing on endless battles and the gradual growth of the hero, as is typical in shonen series, it asks a different question. What happens when you've already reached the top?
腹減った。飯だ飯。
This radical twist captured the attention of viewers tired of conventional plot formulas. The anime and manga masterfully combine epic moments with absurd everyday life, creating a unique balance.
ここに住んでもいいですか？
絶対ダメ。
部屋代払います。
ちゃんと歯ブラシ持ってきたか。
As a result, audiences get not only thrilling scenes but also a sharp satire of superhero tropes, making the series truly universal and appealing to a broad audience.
チェックメイト。すまん。いや。
埼玉。次に会った時がお前の最後だ。
そうか。
Music in a TV series is an essential component that helps create the atmosphere and emphasize emotions. It makes the series memorable and sets it apart from others. In One Punch Man, the balance is perfectly maintained.
なんだと。
Thanks to the series' main composer, Makoto Miyazaki, the group Jam Project, which created the opening theme, and Hiroko Moriguchi, whose voice graces the ending, we get an unforgettable, powerful opening, atmospheric interludes, epic battle themes, and a soft, relaxing ending. The series is filled with an overwhelming concentration of epicness and humor.
帰っていいか。
But it also provides moments to unwind between major plot twists. The thoughtful combination of music creates the unique atmosphere that immerses you deeply into the story. And what helps a series stick in your memory the most? The opening. The opening in a series is like a new form of art. It can exist on its own and still be just as impressive. This is one of those cases where you don't want to skip the opening. You want to see more of it, to stretch it out just a little longer. The song has gained wide recognition among anime fans for its energy and its perfect alignment with the series' atmosphere. Many note that this opening was one of the factors that drew their attention to One Punch Man. In everyday life, Saitama is depicted as simply as possible. His minimalist design contrasts sharply with the meticulously drawn antagonists
お茶もらえる？
and the intricately animated epic battles. This is a unique choice for the genre. In an interview, one shared, "For example, when I draw a person, the back of the head is very long, the forehead is very wide, and the chin is extremely cleft. At the time, many people were creating popular illustrations imitating the style of mainstream manga, so my work might have seemed unusual."
ああ。だって、まあ71点の C 級だしな。
His web manga, one chose a difficult path. He did not copy popular drawings but brought what he liked to perfection.
殴るぞ。
One also mentioned that he enjoyed crafting stories much more than detailing the artwork, which ultimately bore fruit in the form of an outstanding narrative. The fight scenes in the first season of One Punch Man set a new standard thanks to dynamic angles, realistic movements, and the use of effects such as flashes of light, motion blur, and environmental destruction.
ちくしょ。どいつもこ こいつも邪魔しやがって。
Slow motion sequences added an extra layer of epicness. The animation for the first season was handled by Madhouse, a studio renowned for its high-quality work. They crafted a brilliant visual style that perfectly combined absurdity with exceptional artistry. One of the standout elements is the transformation of Saitama's expression into his serious face. Normally, his face appears comically indifferent in almost every situation, but it suddenly shifts into a heroic and intense expression when the moment demands it.
随分と俺を期待させる演出してくれるじゃねえか。
This unique transition, which no one had done successfully before One Punch Man, was a revelation in animation and amplified the humor of the series. Saitama's usual detached demeanor, showing he doesn't care about much, abruptly gives way to serious or devastating moves, creating an unforgettable contrast.
先生
Amid a sea of superhero movies and shows that emphasize cool and visually striking protagonists, One Punch Man carved out its own space by parodying these tropes, instantly gaining recognition and becoming a standout in the genre.
帰れったって迷っちゃって出口がわかんねえよ。
右か。じゃあ左に進もっと。
待て
It's like a black sheep in an ocean of white. Madhouse deserves particular praise for the incredible level of detail and animation in the first season, which laid the foundation for the show's success.
いけた。
Wide panoramic shots and rapid angle shifts enhanced the storytelling, while the detailed movements of the enemies conveyed a sense of speed and power. Explosions, the destruction of settings, and expert use of lighting heightened the drama of every battle. Though One Punch Man was primarily hand-drawn, Madhouse utilized digital tools for lighting effects, overlays, and the creation of 3D elements, such as in scenes of destruction.
ペラペラペラペラと。もう終わりなのか。戦いは。
The synchronization of musical accents with character movements and attacks further amplified the emotional impact of the battles. The animation of the first season became a benchmark of quality, setting a high standard for the entire genre. It was praised by both fans and industry professionals for its creativity, innovation, and attention to detail. This level of excellence was a key factor in the anime's international success. All of this would not have been possible without the stellar Madhouse team. But Season 2 changed everything. After the phenomenal success of the first season of One Punch Man, the second season was a major disappointment for many fans. What caused such a drastic drop in quality? And how did an absolute triumph turn into a letdown? The answer lies in changes to the production team, approach, and several other factors.
その話マジかよ。
The first season was created by Madhouse, a studio renowned for its animation expertise and attention to detail, under the direction of Shingo Natsumi, pouring their heart into every episode. However, due to scheduling conflicts involving key staff members, Madhouse opted out of producing the second season.
これで仕事をしたことになるのかな。
The project was handed over to JC Staff, a studio with extensive experience but not one specializing in epic battle sequences. This change immediately raised concerns among fans. Limited budget and tight deadlines put the new studio in a difficult position, setting the stage for numerous challenges.
そういや、俺も用があったんだ。
One of the main criticisms of the second season was the noticeable decline in animation quality. While the first season dazzled with its detail and cinematic presentation, the second felt simpler and far less impressive.
みんなお前ほどバカじゃねえってよ。
Many shots appeared stiff and lifeless, with minimal movement, and characters often moved awkwardly and inconsistently. Loss of fight scene dynamics. The battles, which were the highlight of the first season, now felt like standard action sequences, lacking the unique angles and immersive effects that had once set them apart.
武術とは要するになんか動きがかっこいいものだな。
Certain elements, particularly destruction sequences and environmental effects, looked unnatural and even distracted from the on-screen action. These shortcomings were glaringly obvious to viewers, leading to widespread disappointment. Fans who had expected the same level of epicness as the first season were met with a sharp drop in quality, which significantly damaged the reputation of the second season. This decline underscored how much the production team's vision and expertise contributed to the magic of the first season, and how the absence of Madhouse's signature touch left the second season struggling to meet expectations.
何すんだ。
誰だてめえ、カツアゲする気か？
The problems with the second season of One Punch Man extended beyond just the visuals. The storyline, which was one of the first season's strongest elements, also underwent changes. Instead of focusing on Saitama, the central figure of the series, the story shifted towards secondary characters like Genos, the Hero Association, and Garou.
こんにちは、埼玉です。よろしく。
Plot lines felt drawn out, while key moments were rushed, creating a sense of imbalance and hindering immersion in the story. While expanding the world of One Punch Man through new characters was intriguing, many fans felt that Saitama, with his unique charisma, was sidelined. This robbed the series of its primary energy and charm. The visual style of the second season also disappointed viewers. The color palette was less vibrant and dynamic, making the overall impression of the series feel dull. While the first season practically glowed with energy and life, the second appeared darker and flatter, which didn't align with the spirit of the original.
あの風圧は危険だ。
A key factor behind the widespread disappointment was the incredibly high standards set by the first season. The first season was a benchmark of quality and innovation in the genre, and fans expected the second season to continue this trend. However, JC staff was unable to meet these expectations, resulting in frustration among viewers. From triumph to disappointment, the second season of One Punch Man serves as a striking example of how changes in studios and production conditions can impact a series' quality.
そうか。
A decline in animation, plot issues, and a lackluster visual style, combined with fans' high expectations, led to widespread disappointment despite JC staff's efforts. This case highlights the importance of balancing resources, time, and talent to sustain the success of a popular franchise. The third season of the series, scheduled for release in 2025, will also be produced by JC staff. Whether they can redeem themselves after the second season's shortcomings remains to be seen. I've tried to analyze the phenomenon of the series. Share your thoughts on the first two seasons in the comments, and let me know if you're looking forward to the third. I'd love to hear what you think. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. And remember, watch only the best anime. Thanks for watching and take care. See you next time.